Hey, gun people. I gotta get it right because sometimes I say horsey people and gun people on the wrong channel. Moki's out there. He was out there with me feeding the horses this morning. Now he's getting dirty. He likes to roll around in the dirt so he can come into the house and shake. Stupid cat. Hey, there is a really great article on about the feds working with the Geek Squad. So Best Buy has Geek Squad and they work on computers, and I know a lot of people that don't know a whole lot about computers. I don't take my computer to anybody. If I can't fix it, I call somebody I know who can fix it. I run some programs, I do something. But I don't give my computer to somebody with my hard drive and all my information. And again, not because I have anything to hide, it's just I don't want other people having access to my computer. That's why I still say to this day, any computer crimes where they find things on someone's computer should be thrown out, because the government has already demonstrated that they can go in your computer anytime. They can load bugs, they can load viruses, they can load Trojans, they can load email programs that will notify them on what you're doing and get your history. They can manipulate your computer at any time if you're connected to the net, and yet they're sending people to prison for stuff they find on their computer. So how hard or how many times do you think somebody didn't want somebody who knew somebody who had some power, who had some way to do it, didn't plant something on somebody's computer, and all of a sudden this guy's getting charged for either secrets or child porn or whatever else they can find on your computer you're not supposed to have. Explosives, terrorist connection, whatever. I mean, it's just too easy to promote stuff. So this is a really serious case that, man, I hope it gets a lot of attention. There's one judge who's not a fan of government authority that's supposedly maybe ruling against, I think, the FBI on this case. So when you bring your computer to Geek Squad, or you get on the cloud, or you put your computer online and you're storing all your stuff in Apple Cloud, and this cloud, and this cloud. A cloud is basically an off-site hard drive. It's a place to where all your information is stored somewhere else. So they may say it's like a cloud, like it's just in the air for you to grab it and nobody has access to it, but that's BS. There's a hard place where that's at. It's transmitted all over lines, and the government can get it. And if you think they can't, well, then you're wrong. And I mean, having all your information out there, to me, I just don't think the government ought to be accessing it. But anyway, not only can they access it, and they're supposed to get a warrant, they're supposed to have probable cause, you're supposed to have Fourth Amendment protection for unreasonable search and seizure, you're supposed to, but everyone knows in this government right now, the Constitution is nothing but a sheet of paper, and it's sad, but I mean, nobody really cares anymore. When was the last time somebody got convicted of doing something against the Constitution? When was the last time they actually charged somebody, the government, with violating someone's I mean, I just don't hear about it. Maybe it's happened. I don't hear about it. So what the feds did, and this is just low down, dirty, sneaky, sleazy, backdoor, crooked stuff. The government pays Geek Squad, pays them $500 every time they report something on a computer that leads to a case. Now, to me, that makes you a government employee. I can't see, the Constitution protects you from government power. It doesn't protect you from citizen power. So you don't have Fourth Amendment protection from me as a citizen. If I go search your house and find evidence, and I enter your house illegally and I turn that evidence over, you can't complain that I violated your Fourth Amendment, because I'm not working for the government. As long as I'm a private party and I go in and find something, if I'm a burglar in your house and I find that you have child porn or explosives and I grab that and turn it over to the police department, you can't claim that I violated your Fourth Amendment and get that evidence suppressed, because I'm not the government. Fourth Amendment protection is from the government's power. The government unreasonable search and seizure. So in cop work, when we have informants and we have people work for us and we're paying people for information, they become what's called, in legal terms, an agent. Once somebody becomes my agent as a cop, if you're working for me and I send you in to make a controlled buy, you're buying dope, I'm on a wire, you're working for me, I'm paying you, You become my agent. Therefore, I have to do things as if you're part of the government because you're working for me and I'm the government. So what the FBI has done is they are paying Geek Squad $500. To me, it's pretty stinking clear. They're making them a government agent working for the government. But what they've done is they're saying, we're going to pay you after you turn it in, therefore you're not an employee, because we're not paying you before. Only if you turn it in, we're going to give you a backdoor bonus. So they're trying to manipulate the system, because that's what government does. Whatever power you give government, they're going to manipulate it, grow, and try to use it, morph it, change it into somehow to where it's legal. I mean, I did it as cops. That's what cops do. We try to work within the law, but if we can find loopholes within the law and ways to bend it, and it helps us get a bad guy, then we do it. The problem is not all cops are doing it to get the bad guy. They're doing it to get political enemies or somebody they don't like, or manipulate the system, or start planting evidence. So they start doing things that are totally illegal under the ruse of, well, I was trying to get the bad guy. Look, the FBI is wrong. Clear cut, absolutely wrong. They should not be paying a private company an incentive to spy and snoop on your computer when you turn it in, and you're paying for a service from Geek Squad to fix your computer. I mean, I just found this outrageous. And I put a link to the article. I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. This is just so flagrant in the face of the American citizens that, you know what? We're the government and we can do what we want, and you freaking peon taxpayer piece of shits don't control us. We don't work for you. All that horse shit you hear about, the government works for people and you work for me and I pay your salary and I'm a tax. That's all BS. Nobody gives a shit about that, and it's in your face with the FBI doing this. So, I mean, to me, I think the American public should absolutely boycott and refuse to use Geek Squad. I think they are a government agent. If you turn your computer over to them, you are turning your computer over to the FBI. Now, I know there's going to be some left-wing idiot here that thinks the government's here to help you, and they're going to say, well, Rick, you got nothing to hide on your computer, what do you care? Well, that's just freaking stupid, okay? It's not the fact that you have something to hide, it's about privacy. It's about Fourth Amendment protection. It's about over-abuse of power from the government, abusing that power to get into your business through the back door in order to create revenue, to get stats, to show we need more government because we have more cases, and if we have more cases, then we can have more judges, and we can justify more cops, and we can justify more enforcement and probation officers to control all the people, where it becomes a monopoly on controlling the people and government power. So, I mean, believe me, I will never use Geek Squad. They are trash in my book. They are a federal agency as far as I'm concerned. They're working for the government. And now once one guy from Best Buy or whoever, because I think that's what Geek Squad works for, made a statement that, well, it's our duty that if we file child porn that we report it to the FBI, so we're just doing the right thing. Well, that sounds pretty good. That's a pretty good statement. I like that statement. Except it's bullshit, because he didn't say, and our agents are getting $500 every time we turn it in. So therefore we're working for the FBI. Therefore we're looking harder. Therefore a guy that's making minimum wage working for the Geek Squad knows how to get a $500 bonus if I just slip in a little piece of child porn on this guy's computer, and I can manipulate the dates and when it came in, and I can make it look like it's been there for a while. I can turn it in and I get a $500 bonus. That's how corruption starts. I mean, it's just so flagrantly wrong. I just couldn't believe it. And I can't believe there's not an outcry. Not one freaking left-wing news media is covering this. It ain't on any of the I found it because on the Drudge site had one article linked to it, and I read it, and I kind of went, Geek Squad, $500 bonus, what the hell's that? And I like, holy shit. So, Geek Squad's on my shit list. They're on my do not use. They're on my boycott. They're on my pro-government piece of shit list. And I don't care. I don't care what you do. I mean, I'm just putting out information. People need to be informed. You ought to know what you're doing. I think I got a pretty good informed audience. The people that watch me are pretty savvy. So I think they already know that if you turn your computer over, you're kind of asking for trouble. Not only do you give somebody access to your computer, they can get your passwords, they can download all your information, they can make copies of your pictures. You got pictures of your ex-girlfriend, you got pictures of you in sexual compromising position. They can make copies, you can get into blackmail situations, you can get into stuff being shared. I mean, just giving your whole life to somebody. Why don't you just invite the government in your house and say, hey, Here's a key to the front door. Come on in whenever you want. Look around. Don't worry about it. If I'm in the bed with 3 women, come on in. Take pictures, audio tape me, no problem. Because that's pretty much what you're doing when you give the computer, especially to Geek Squad. And I don't believe that the FBI is only working with Geek Squad. I think that's the only one we know about. Because, you know, it's like when cops find a weapon, we always think there's at least 1 or 2 other weapons we didn't find. When you arrest somebody for crime, they've committed several crimes before. It's not the first time they committed a crime. So, when a government is paying somebody to snoop in your computer, it ain't the first time. It's the only time we know about. Just a horrible situation and erosion of the Constitution and privacy, 4th Amendment. I mean, just all kind of bad things come out of that. Hi, boys! Hi, buddy! Like, dude, don't bother me. I'm eating. All right, we'll end that there. Damn Geek Squad, Best Buy, both on my shit list.